Here we have a new 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz. This one comes in the limited trim level with all-wheel drive. This color is Atlas white, and then we get black perforated leather interior. And our powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, made it to an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. And just love the look of this Limited. Starting out with the front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights along with LED headlamps. They don't flash like that, that's just how the camera's picking it up. But absolutely love the grille here. That's just a really great design, and it really helps you tell the difference between a Limited and a lower trim level. Then down here we get the 20-inch aluminum wheels, which also look fantastic. We get passive keyless entry on the front two doors. And here we have the controls for our power mirrors, power door locks. We get one-touch automatic windows for the front, and then we have just regular power windows for the back. Rear window lock there. And I just love this gloss black here. It makes it look that much more premium and how it goes with the rest of the trim there. And then we have a bottle holder down here, a little storage, and bed light brightness for the gauge cluster, traction control. And there's our power driver's seat with power lumbar support. But before we make our way to the back seat, let's go ahead and take a look at this window sticker here. There are all of your standard features, which you get plenty. And then the sticker price is right at $42,475. You're getting 19 miles per gallon city, 27 highway with this, and then a 22 combined. Let's go ahead and check out the back. Love having the cup holder here. And I love that we have the cargo nets behind both seats, not just the passenger side. And here's our legroom back here. Not the best, but not terrible, especially for a small truck like this. You're probably going to be using this for yourself just to haul or whatever. And then we have our rear AC vents, and then down there we have two USB-A charge ports. There's a view of the front from back here. Love the front seat area though. Just love how everything's laid out, which I'll get to that here in a moment. And then I love how we have the grab handle, and we actually have the hanger hook on this left side because that's where they should go to stay out of your blind spot. But over here, fuel filler. There's our gas cap there. And then we do get LED tail lights in the back. Again, they don't flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking it up. And we do have the sliding tonneau cover with this one. There's all that space back here. And then there's also a 115 volt inverter. And I always forget which side it's on. I think it's on the right side. Yeah, there's a plug right in there. So if you ever need to use that, it's there for you. Gotta get that in there right. There we go. And then we do have just a lot of utility here that you're able to use in the bed. These are also the cargo mats that go with the vehicle. And then to close it back, just go ahead and slide it. And then once you get all the way back, latch it. Definitely recommend it being a two-man or a two-hand job. And then there's a tailgate there. Really easy to open and shut, which I like. And then to the front passenger seat, we do get four-way manual over here. And then glove compartment with owner's manuals. Really good sized glove compartment, I'll say that. But really with this Limited, I love all the luxury features that you get with it. This one in particular is definitely decked out. But let's go ahead and take a look in the engine bay. And it's getting a little windy out here, so I apologize if that noise is going through the microphone. It was like beautiful this morning. I'm sure a storm's coming in. It's been storms for like 3 weeks straight, on and off. But here we have the 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And we do have to hold this one up manually. And that hood is heavy. Let's go ahead and hop inside. So a really nice heated leather wrap steering wheel here. And just like how that design is, I've said that a million times. But going over to the radio here, we get AM, FM, XM, along with Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. And there's our navigation screen there. And just love how this is laid out, how it's kind of tilted up. And here are all of our features that we can delve into here. So valet mode, phone projection for the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can go into your climate here, and then you can actually see what's down here, up here. So as I change the temperature, it'll show you. And then as I change the airflow as well. So that's just cool to have up there. But like I said, AC controls are down here. We get dual zone automatic climate controls, and I like that we have the 3-stage auto, so whether you want it to cool the cabin fast, slow, or right in the middle, you can do that. And then you can adjust the fan speed manually and the temperature manually as well. And you can sync those up. You have a diffuse here, and then toggle your AC on and off. And then back up to the radio, there's our 360 view with a backup camera. Guidelines, very, very high def. I like that. As you turn the steering wheel, the lines will follow you. And then you have a front camera as well. You get curbside view cameras. And then you kind of have a bird's eye view of the front. So they did a good job with that camera. And then I like these buttons. At first I was scared when I saw that there weren't actual knobs, but even the volume here, really easy to use. And I like that it's not like cumbersome in a sense where it'll take you forever to do what you want to do. So good job there. Down here, USB port, 12 volt, and then that's the USB charge port. You use this one for the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And then here you have a charging pad, and I love how it's down and out of the way, and it works really well. I already tested it out. For the 8-speed, grab this lever here, reverse, neutral drive. You can shift over here to manually shift, or you can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, which I'll try to test out in the test drive. Get 4 drive modes: normal, sport, smart, and snow. And then you have your rear differential lock here, automatic brake hold, and then you have your downhill brake control there. And then you can toggle your camera on the fly just by hitting that button without having to be in reverse. Then you have electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then down here, we have 3-stage heated cooled seats for the driver, front passenger, and then that heated steering wheel toggle there. And then here's our center console cubby space. Okay size there. And then over here, we have our sunroof controls, and then we have our dome lights. So I like we have the premium dome lights here. I like that we can toggle all of them on and off. Universal garage door transmitter underneath the rear view mirror. And then one touch slide, power sunroof there. And then we can tilt that as well if we want to. And then we also have a sliding rear window, which that one's manual. And then back to the steering wheel, we can use this mode button to go between AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, whatever we have set up. And you can see that there. You can actually set what you want it to go through. And then same thing with the favorites. You can customize that in those settings as well. And then voice recognition, Bluetooth, volume, up and down, mute. And then we can go through our track list or radio station presets here, depending on what mode we're in. And then we have our smart cruise controls here. You can toggle that there, gap adjust for that, lane centering. And then for the middle part of the digital gauge cluster, we can go through the 4 menus, and then we can go within the sub menus here with the arrows, and then using the OK button to go further into everything. But really like having that gauge cluster there. It's in front of you, but it's not like taking up half your viewing space. So I like how they did that. Blinkers here, and I have the regular headlights on there, and when you have those on, you can put the high beams on like that, turn them off, and then flash there. And then auto, you can put the auto high beams on there and then turn them off there. And then to the right side stalk, we have windshield wipers. So auto mode is there, and we can set how fast we want those to go here. And then low, high, one time, and then we can pull up here for the front wiper fluid. And then here we have our push button start. Hazards are there. I think that's pretty much it. So finally, here is our key fob. with remote start. And I almost forgot to mention, it's hard to see on this door panel, Bose sound system as well. That's a big plus, you can't leave that out. So let's go ahead and take this 2023 Santa Cruz Limited all-wheel drive out on the road for a quick test drive. So I'm starting the drive out here in normal mode and still plenty peppy this 2.5 liter turbo engine is. Really like that. And I love the low end power that you get, like coming out of a corner like that. You need to have that upfront torque, and I like that I was able to get that even with this being turbocharged. So I will say, as opposed to the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder you get in the Santa Cruz, really like the turbo better. I feel like it's a lot easier to accelerate. Now, of course, you're not going to get as good gas mileage, but a lot of that just depends on how you put your foot into the pedal and how you drive anyway. So depending on who's behind the wheel, it's really not that big of a difference. It's not like having a V8 as opposed to a 4-cylinder or something like that. Like, this is pretty similar in terms of gas mileage. That naturally aspirated one's just a little bit better though. I'm going to put it in a sport mode now. Well, that's snow mode. And love having the curbside cameras there. So really like how responsive the paddle shifters are. In this Santa Cruz. And with the turbo engine, having the dual clutch is just really, really fun. And it really makes for a more sporty drive feel. And just great pull from the turbo engine in general. So I have the lane centering on with the adaptive cruise now. And even though it's really windy out, still doing a good job of keeping me centered in the lines. And even with the 20s on there, I can hear the road a little bit more, but really, really good ride quality. And I really like how the steering is in the sport mode. I can kind of feel how loose it is in the normal mode, and then when I put it into sport, it just gets really stiff. So I'm liking that. And I shouldn't even say really stiff, just subtly stiff, but you know, enough for you to notice. But just a really fun truck to drive. Now, in terms of other vehicles in this segment, the Maverick definitely comes to mind. And as much as I like that truck, there's really not a powertrain. I feel like the 2-liter turbo offered in that truck just doesn't give you the same feel as this one does, having this 2.5 liter. Now, of course, you do get the hybrid powertrain available in that. And other than that, I mean, you have slightly bigger trucks, the Tacoma, the Colorado, but really, there's a reason that the Santa Cruz and the Maverick sell so well. Is because they drive like cars with pickup beds in them. And that's what makes this such a great vehicle. And honestly, I definitely recommend getting the 2.5 turbo over the naturally aspirated 2.5, just because it's that much more fun and you're not really saving that much more with the fuel mileage in everyday driving. And specifically in this limited trim level, all the safety features you get, all the technology really do make it worth your while, in my opinion. As opposed to maybe getting a Maverick, especially since those are still selling for crazy money right now. I would recommend getting this over that, unless you can get one a sticker, and then you can compare apples to apples. But with that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of the new 2023 Hyundai Santa Cruz Limited all-wheel drive.